So I'm just going to make some almond milk up. It's really, really simple. And the reason why I do it is because I don't fare well with dairy products. So I need to stick to non-dairy products whenever possible, even though I love them. And so almond milk's my go-to for my coffee. So I make it up pretty much every week, or sometimes my husband makes it up for me. Bless him. But I've got to make some up now. And it's really very, very, very simple. But I don't buy it from the shops because all the shop ones that I've seen have been full of additives or sugar and things like that, and I really only want pure almond milk. So this is how I make it. It's really simple. It makes a bit of noise. It only takes a few minutes, and if you want to make your own almond milk and you don't know how, hopefully you will know now. So basically the ingredients is 2 ingredients. It's really only almonds and water, 1-to-1 ratio, as in for every litre of water you use a cup of almonds. So I usually start with 1.5 litres of water. I use filtered water. My tap filters water automatically, so I use filtered water, and I just put a 1.5 cups of almonds. I also use the almond meal later. I don't waste any of it. You know, nuts are expensive, and I use natural almonds too, not roasted or anything like that. So natural almonds. You just blend it up until it's pretty. Just make sure I don't have any explosions on live. Blend it up until it's well blended. So I'll make a noise for a minute. That's probably enough. Okay, now I'm going to move it around so you can see this. Now down here, these are just jars from old sauces, you know, pasta sauce. I use that. I like these because they're long. They're long like that. They're easy to pour out of. So they hold quite a bit of almond milk at a time, and they're easy to pour out. So I usually need about 3 to do this. I've got a nut bag and a bowl and just a Ziploc bag that I collect the almond meal in. And the almond meal I reuse too. I use it for, I make all sorts of things out of it. And I'll show you my supply in a minute. So I freeze them. When I freeze this left over, and then when I've got time to do a big batch bake with the almond meal, I do that too. You need a funnel, and it's only really as simple as pouring it into the nut bag and squeezing out the milk. So it's a little bit like milking a cow, and after a few times it's less fun. But my body is much, much better for it. So if you've just popped on, this is totally unrelated to painting or anything like that. We're making almond meal because it was requested. I make natural almond milk for myself for my coffees because I'm just a little bit dairy intolerant. I get like cold-like symptoms if I have too much dairy. So I make my own almond milk, and it's really simple, but I was asked for a demo, so I aim to please. Oh, I don't know if you just saw that, and I think I got a bit of it over me. The bags tend to get a little bit of holes down the edge after they've been used for a bit. So it takes a bit to squeeze it all out. And with the almond meal, I've made all sorts of stuff out of that. I do a batch bake sort of once every quarter with it. I save it up in the freezer and I end up having bags and bags and bags of it. And I make things like curry pizza bases, like fruit muffins or biscuits. So they're all paleo friendly. Some of them are vegan friendly. I'm not vegan, but I do make a little bit of vegan. I've got a daughter who's vegan. And what else do I make out of it? Just mainly that. Mainly the pizza bases. Anything that you would have bread or wheat products. So I use the almond meal, the wet almond meal out of the freezer and turn it into something like that. I kind of experiment and write down the recipes. The ones that work for me I hang on to and remake. So as you can see, it is a little bit like milking a cow. It takes some effort. I can see a comment, but it flicked up and flicked back on me. Denise, I can see you, darling. Is it is it in the right format? Are you seeing me kind of up on the side? Because the little buttons are on the side for me here, even though I can see the picture myself, the right orientation. So I'm hoping you guys can see this. You're not having to turn your head on the side. So there's the milk. I'll wash my hands now. It's a bit messy. I just pour it into the... That's it. I mean, seriously, that's all it is. It was simple, but that's the process. That's how quick it takes. It's not as quick as buying it from the shop, but like I said, it's just a whole lot more healthier. And as a creative person, I do struggle to look after myself and my health, time, sleep, food, the whole bit. So this is one thing I have kept up with. So I pop it in the bag, and this is how much almond meal I get out of it. So all that can be used as well. So what I do is I seal up the Ziploc bags and I flatten it out so it thaws quickly when I go to use it, and it stacks a bit easier in the freezer. Although when you see my freezer, you'll see it's not very stacked well. It's not stacked very well. Wash my hands again. I'll take you and okay, there's my freezer. I'll show you. Check this out. Ta-da! That's how much I've got sitting in there. So, look, I don't have a lot of time for baking. I'm too busy doing furniture and, well, you see what I'm doing. I'm all over my page and everything. But I save it up in the freezer and then just do a big batch bake with it. So I don't waste any of those nuts. So there you go, guys. For those who want to make their own almond milk, that's how it is. Totally nothing to do with painting, but perhaps still part of our life, looking after ourselves, okay? So have a great weekend. I won't bombard you anymore this weekend, and I'll see you in the new week. God bless. Bye.